All right, so we're diving into something interesting today.
Yeah.
This whole Kendrick and Drake thing.
Yeah.
You've given us a lot to unpack here.
Right.
And with Tupac right in the middle of it all.
Definitely. Yeah, it's interesting how both of them admire Tupac, but in such different ways.
Yeah, and that's what's so fascinating.
Yeah.
It's like they both see different parts of him.
Right.
And that shows in their music,
Absolutely.
their public image, their everything.
It's true.
We've got Kendrick, who clearly sees Tupac as like more than just someone he listened to growing up.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, he wrote that letter to Rolling Stone, what was it, back in 2015?
Yeah.
Calling him a guiding spirit.
Mm-hmm.
That's not just a fan talking.
No, absolutely not. And he's not just talking about it either. Like, you look at Mortal Man from Sue Pimp, A Butterfly.
Yeah.
He uses actual interview audio with Tupac, and it's like this back and forth about social justice, the Black experience, what it's like to be famous, all these heavy things. And it's Kendrick saying, I'm part of this. I'm carrying the torch.
Right. So he's picking up where Tupac left off.
Yeah, you could say that.
In terms of like using his platform for more than music.
Exactly. And then you have Drake, who clearly loves Tupac too, but...
Well, he dropped $1 million on that crown ring.
Yeah, like that's a statement.
$1 million.
It got people talking, that's for sure.
I mean, I'm a fan, but I'm not dropping a down payment on a house for it.
Right.
Is that real fandom, though? You know?
That's the question, isn't it?
Especially compared to Kendrick, who seems to really live by that message of social responsibility.
It's a different way of showing it, that's for sure.
And what about that Instagram Live he did with Lil Yachty?
Oh, yeah.
Joking about Tupac.
Right.
Even if they're just messing around, it just feels wrong.
It can. Yeah. Especially compared to how seriously Kendrick takes it.
Right. It's like one's a conversation with the man on an album.
Yeah.
The other is like locker room talk.
Exactly.
So does Drake even get that side of Tupac?
It makes you wonder.
The activist side, not just the icon.
Right. And you see that in the music, too.
Oh, totally.
Kendrick's got that activist vibe, like Tupac.
Yeah.
Drake's more about the mainstream sound.
And you can't forget about that diss track Drake had to pull.
Oh, yeah. What a mess that was.
Tupac's estate stepped in and shut it down.
They did not play around.
That says a lot about how they see his legacy.
Absolutely. They are protecting it, and they showed everyone they're serious.
Definitely makes you think twice about messing with Tupac's music, even years later.
Right. You can't just do what you want with it.
There's a whole other level to it.
There is. It's about who gets to tell his story even now.
And who profits from it, too.
Exactly. It's a big question. It's like there's rules around Tupac, you know.
Right.
It's not just the music, it's what he means.
Totally. And how do you live up to that?
Yeah.
Especially in music, where like staying true to yourself and getting those #1 hits don't always go together.
Exactly. You see that with Kendrick and Drake both. Huge.
Huge.
But different paths.
Yeah, Kendrick seems to really feel the weight of Tupac.
It's like he's carrying that torch for real.
Oh, and is that a burden, do you think?
I mean, it's got to be tough, right?
To be compared to a legend.
It gives your music meaning, but it's also a lot to live up to.
And let's not forget, Tupac wasn't perfect either.
Oh, yeah. He was complicated, for sure.
Contradictions all over the place.
But he owned it, you know?
I did.
He never pretended to be something he wasn't.
So what do you think Tupac would make of all this?
Man, if we could only know.
Right.
It's tempting to guess, but we can't really.
What would he think about being the center of this whole Kendrick Drake thing?
Right. Like, Kendrick's out there fighting for what he believes in, just like Tupac.
Mm-hmm.
Drake's on top of the world. Hip-hop is everywhere, like Tupac wanted.
It's like his influence is everywhere, even as people see it differently.
Exactly. And it's not just about the music. It's bigger than that.
It's how they use their platform, what they put out into the world.
Because it's about their impact on the culture.
And that's what makes these deep dives so interesting.
For sure.
We get into all the messy stuff.
Yeah.
No easy answers.
Nope.
Just good questions.
The best kind.
It's kind of wild when you think about it, right?
What's that?
Both Kendrick and Drake have actually made music with Tupac.
Oh, yeah, after he passed.
Posthumously, the whole deal.
It's kind of strange when you think about it.
Yeah, like, are those even real collaborations?
It's like trying to finish someone's sentence, you know?
Right.
You have their words, but what were they really trying to say?
And is it even right? You know?
That's the question, isn't it?
Using someone's voice like that.
Especially with Tupac. Would he even want to be in a song now?
Yeah, or would he just want his old music to speak for itself?
Tough to say.
So where are we now?
I don't know about you, but my head's spinning.
What's the takeaway here?
I think it reminds us that art, it's never just one thing.
Right.
There's always something else behind it. Some influence, some story.
Yeah, and we all hear those things differently.
Exactly. We bring our own baggage, our own heroes.
And that's what makes it interesting.
All the messiness, the different opinions, the stuff you keep thinking about later.
Yeah, like those songs you hear and you're still thinking about them a week later.
That's the good stuff.
So next time you hear some Kendrick or Drake,
or even Tupac,
really listen for it.
Those little pieces of Tupac that are still echoing.
And what do you think?
How do you see it all?
It's like that saying, game recognizes game.
Right.
In this case, it's more like legacy recognizes legacy.
And the crazy thing is, years from now, someone's going to be having this same conversation about Kendrick and Drake.
Whoa, you think so?
I do their music. It's going to last.
And someone will ask, what was their influence?
Just like we're doing with Tupac.
It all comes back around.
It does. That's the power of music, man.
And never really ends, does it?
Nope, it just keeps evolving.
Well, on that note, thanks for geeking out with us today.
Anytime, my friend.
This was a good one. We'll catch you all next time for another deep dive.